say, I gotta explain this better. So if you're full of hate, for example, and you read the Bible, then maybe it will say something like, "Oh, go harm yourself. It's a good idea," because you're perceiving it that way because you yourself are in pain. The Bible isn't actually saying this. You're just perceiving it that way because it makes sense to you. That is pretty much religion in a nutshell. Okay? You base these holy texts for your religion. You base your religion off these holy texts, and I think later down the road, people are going to start realizing that the religion that we see today, that's based off of these holy texts, were totally misinterpreted. In fact, there's not even a correct interpretation yet. And that's the other part I want to say. I don't think there is a correct interpretation. I think the Bible is actually meant for what it's being used for. It's either something to help you find yourself, or it's something to fear and to follow because you're afraid, or follow because you don't want to cross God. You'll go to hell. You'll be tortured for infinity. I mean, that does not make sense. Okay, and I'll tell you why with this reading. Okay, where am I? Kind of went off on a tangent, but I think I'm getting better at this, so we'll see. Oh, next page. That's what's going on. Got confused because it's the next page. I've already read everything on the first. So it's I'm gonna have to read it again. I'm sorry, just part of it. Why would God torture him, her, itself, and then cut itself off from itself? Doesn't make sense, does it? I really don't believe God would forsake God. That's like cutting off your own finger and torturing it forever. Yeah, who would do that? Okay, then that, in my humble opinion, I mean, if I'm even seeming humble, okay, great, but that's what I wrote, whatever. That is my humble opinion. That, in my humble opinion, is insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results each moment. Wow, that's pretty deep. So like I was saying, if you cut your own finger off and then you torture it for eternity, isn't that doing the same thing over and over again? I don't know if you're expecting different results, but you're still doing the same thing over and over again. And in the Bible, if you take it literally from different parts, I'm pretty sure it talks something about God expects you to repent, and so maybe you're doing that while you're in this so-called hell. Doesn't make sense. Okay, all right. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Take a deep breath. Okay, next section. Hold on. Is this, okay, this is 4. Forgot to number it. Quotes, number 4, quotes I make up, but also others' quotes. These are also things that bring me joy. I don't know who originally said this, but here's the quote. No one is lost forever. No one is lost forever. You might want to say that a few times and think about that meaning. Maybe after the video, I don't know. That would mean that beings like Hitler and Satan eventually find their way, maybe even into heaven. I know at this point, based on certain religions, that I'm being blasphemous, but that actually doesn't matter, because blasphemy is a concept basically to keep you in the box, so I don't care. Alright. I find this quote to be very beautiful. Yeah, I do. It's like a it's like something that helps me when I'm depressed. I refer to it like, oh, I'm in this moment right now, but this too shall pass. There's another quote. I believe that's in the Bible. This too shall pass. There's a lot of great stuff in the Bible, but people really shouldn't fear it and try to follow it. Really, you should be your own leader, and to get even more complex, your leader and follower. I guess you could say that as neutral, like you're you're both, but you're neither or. It's a paradox. That's kind of explained in another video. Another one that I just made up. Infinity is real. Example. Change is infinite. Because it's one of the concepts that stays the same. Even science and religion change. Example. What people see as gravity will eventually change significantly in as little as 11 years. I don't know the exact number, but I assume even in 5 years something different will occur in pretty much a lot of the different studies and maybe even fixed ideas. I don't really understand science as much as a scientist, but I do feel like the things like gravity and even the God particle that was supposed to be discovered, they call it that, but I think it's actually called the Higgs boson, and there might even be an even more scientific name than that. But what I'm trying to say here is change is always happening. I mean, okay, maybe, if you believe in the Big Bang, maybe before the Big Bang there was no change. Maybe there was just nothingness. That might be another topic. I'm not sure. But if change, oh crap, not again. What was I saying? Change. Ah crap. I'll just continue. Whatever. Change is in everything. Change is everything. Everything is change. Even nothingness might change. I mean, it could just go on forever. There's things, words, concepts, things we haven't even discovered yet that will be discovered someday. I don't know when. I mean, I'm not a prophet, but I do like to speak my mind, and I think it's about time I do. I haven't for the longest time. I kind of did. Like I would, when in school, I would get upset with the students, and to shield the negativity that was being thrown at me, literally thrown at me, like they would just say the meanest things, and it wasn't really bullying physically. It was psychological. The psychological bullying, and they were very good at it. But what I would do is I would kind of turn it on them a little bit. I would get really hyper, and I would basically act stupid. But I got to a point where I was so good at it, I could actually make the bullies laugh. And not in such a way that they were laughing at me, although they might have been, I don't know. But in such a way that they what's the word? They left me alone a lot more. Like, they still bullied me psychologically, but they were, they did it less. They did it less. The thing that really bothered me, though, was I couldn't ask too many questions in school. It wasn't because the teachers wouldn't let me. No, actually, North Oldham was pretty nice. They would let me ask lots of questions. It was the students. It was the people that tormented me throughout the school year. They wouldn't let me say certain things, and if I said a certain thing, like what I'm saying on this video, like, for example, if I was to say I am God, I'd get the crap beat out of me. For one, I don't know how to fight. Two, I don't like to fight. Three, I think violence is ignorance, so they were being ignorant anyway. A lot of times I just had to be quiet, and I hated that. I love talking. As I slowly adopt Eckhart Tolle's teachings of be here now, I may change that. I may get to the point where I only talk like, like he does. Like, from what I understand, he's not actually talking from his thoughts. He's talking from within. Like, it may not even be him talking, but at the same time it is. Like, the nothingness, like there could be a nothingness that's within him, that's the center of his core. A lot of people think that dark is bad, darkness is bad. Not necessarily. The actions can be, but what is night? Night is just the sun leaving one side of the earth as it rotates, as the earth rotates around the sun, and the sun just shines very brightly. Okay, so the last thing I'll say is everything changes and everyone changes. Yeah, everyone changes. Not just everything, everyone. There's a difference. See, everything would be talking about all the things in the world and all the things that exist, like, say, things that don't necessarily have a consciousness like we do. They may have a kind of consciousness, but not as conscious as, say, a human. Anyway, I just feel like people are constantly changing. I mean, look at yourself from 5 years ago. Are you the same? I mean, if you are, that's kind of freaky, because change is actually so, is the word prevalent? It's so constant. It's just, it's constantly affecting everything and everyone. So to be able to stay the same throughout that process, that would be very difficult. And then, to correct what I just said, actually, on top of that, you could not fight it if you wanted to. You know why? Because your skin cells, for example, your whole body is dying in different parts to make room for the new cells, the new things, like, your food that you eat, that becomes like cells in your body, maybe even bone tissue, different things. Like the skin, it's not always the same, and it's constantly, like, how do you think you got bigger? How do you think you got older? It's because your skin is slowly, like extremely slowly, like you don't even notice. There's no way. If you noticed it, that would be bad too, because I think you'd be super aging, and that's not good. But it's like your skin is dying on the surface ever so slowly. I heard somewhere, like, you shed like pounds and pounds of skin a year if you were to collect it all, which would never mind. Okay, I think I'm putting a little bit of judgment here. I'm sorry for that. I mean, it happens, but eventually I don't want to be judgmental at all. Yeah, I kind of think of like Eckhart Tolle, maybe not so much as a hero, because then that's, in a way, that's kind of like belittling myself a little bit, because then it's like I'm the person being saved, I'm the person being helped, and then here's this person who is beyond help and can help me, but then that's saying that I can't help myself. Why can't I help myself? Not true. I can help myself, and I do, each and every day. Even if you're not aware of it, we all are. But what I'm saying is I would eventually like to hold those teachings of Eckhart Tolle to heart, like literally live them, and not think impulsively anymore. That would be good. That would be very good. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I might make another one. I have a lot of energy right now. We'll see. Okay. We as in me. Okay. Thank you for watching. Smiley face. It's a freaky smiley face. Okay. Thank you. Bye.